Spider-Man Brand New Day is releasing in close proximity to the Punisher Special and Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Now some brand new reports and details have revealed how exactly all three of these projects are connected, which they are. So in this video, we're going to break down how Punisher Special connects to Daredevil Born Again, how Daredevil Born Again connects to that, and how that connects to Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we got a lot to cover in this video, so we're going to get right into Daredevil Born Again and its connection to the Punisher Special and the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day. So first and foremost, Daredevil will factor into Spider-Man Brand New Day, but not directly. And what I mean by that is, per all the reports we've gotten, Daredevil is not in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but his presence will be felt. The story that's playing out in Daredevil Born Again will have a ripple effect on the Punisher Special, but also on the events of Spider-Man Brand New Day, because obviously characters, beats, the same New York, that's all going to be important in terms of the shared universe connection and how this story unfolds in a sort of linear fashion across these three projects. Which brings me to talk about what's going on in Daredevil Born Again. Season 2 will further focus on Wilson Fisk cracking down on vigilantes, like he was at the end or midway through and towards the end of Season 1. Daredevil has been presumed dead, and Fisk is continuing to fight crime. In Season 2, there is a direct reference to Spider-Man and what's going on, and Frank Castle taking things and matters into his own hands. This will directly establish where Frank is and his new escalating war on the mob families. Which brings us to the Punisher Special and how that leads directly into Spider-Man. So the Punisher Special is definitely not as big as some people think it is. Think of this like a more expensive version of the TV show, except they're using the budget of more or less half the season for one special that's like a small movie length. That's the best way I can explain it. Now, I know a few people that work on all three of the projects we're talking about, Daredevil, Spider-Man, and Punisher, and the things I've heard about Punisher have me sold that this is going to be what the fans of the Punisher have been waiting for. And one thing I think we can all look at, even if you have an inside source or not, from everything we've seen, is that Punisher is escalating his war on crime, and he's sort of starting to become the Punisher from the comics, which again, he hasn't really been, and he only really becomes that Punisher at the end of Season 2. So what's being reported is that while Daredevil is not appearing in Punisher and Punisher is not appearing in Daredevil, the stories run concurrently. And Wilson Fisk is still sending out hits on Frank, but Frank is fixated on one specific crime boss and syndicate family that's growing. He is going after them, and like Frank Castle does, he's going to eliminate them. Now, this is going to cause an uptick in mobs trying to fight for real estate, which is exactly what they do. And Frank is going to continue to escalate this war to the point where it gets so out of hand that we see that these mob families start working with real supervillains. And what's been reported is that one of these crime families is going to, when Frank is naturally about to off them, they reveal that they are working, one, for Wilson Fisk, but two, for his second hand. His second hand just happens to be Tombstone. Now, this would all track, right? Frank, at the end of his special, learns it's all Fisk's doing. He's still the kingpin of crime, but now he's escalated to working with vigilantes that got their own powers. So Frank is going to up his arsenal, and this is going to straight up literally and physically drive him into Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, how does he connect to the events of Spider-Man, and how do the events of Daredevil further back this crossover? Well, it's all in everything we've been officially told that we can see with our own eyes as well, because Daredevil will also establish Spider-Man's connection. The opening act of Spider-Man Brand New Day will see Spidey going after militarized vehicles. These vehicles are, of course, part of Damage Control's business and some stolen tech as well, but Frank has now escalated his war in a very public way. He's got the Punisher van, he's prowling those streets, he's looking for the next target. Tombstone enters the picture and escalates his war and starts fighting Spider-Man as well as the rest of them. You got Scorpion, who's running his own thing. As we know, he is also part of a gang and a mob. Suddenly, the mob warfare that we have in the Punisher special has bled over into Spider-Man. Wilson Fisk further is amplifying the crackdown on vigilantes. Daredevil is added a picture because he's doing his own thing. He's fighting Wilson Fisk. He's working and fighting Bullseye. This leaves this story to focus on Spider-Man and Frank taking down street-level threats that are starting to overrun New York, because the mayor of New York has essentially unleashed the military on everybody that he doesn't like. The heroes aren't going to go with that. So what we got here is 3 projects releasing in the first 6 months of next year that will 100% all cover events happening around the same time, with 3 events specifically happening concurrently. The end of Daredevil Born Again, the end of the Punisher special, both leading directly into Spider-Man Brand New Day. Because you also now have to factor in that Daredevil Born Again is getting a 3rd season that will happen before Secret Wars. So this is going to have to feel the ramifications of everything from Spider-Man and Daredevil back in that one. And I would not be surprised if Frank shows back up in Daredevil Born Again Season 3 to sort of bridge the gap the other way, since they can't have Spider-Man on TV. This way, you're sort of dealing with every single thing without having Daredevil appear in Spider-Man just yet, because it's pretty obvious he's going to be in Spider-Man 5. So once again, they got a way to connect everything without directly crossing everybody over and telling a similar story from 3 different perspectives that gives you different insight into the events of New York. Think of this like the main mission from Grand Theft Auto 4, where you saw 3 different perspectives during the same mission, and each story unfolded in a different corner of New York. That's sort of how they're going to approach Brand New Day. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.